Hello, my name is Josh Raven. I'm the lead singer of the Faim, and I'm hanging out with Rob on Front Row Live.
Josh, what's up, dude? I'm super excited to be reuniting with you. It's been way too long since the last time that we got to pretty much hang out because you gave us an awesome show the last time I saw you guys, and then a nice conversation, which was even better. But I'm super excited to reunite with you. I do have to admit, for a while, I was getting worried. I was like, these guys are being too quiet. What is happening? So I'm excited that there's new music, and I'm excited that a new album is literally on the way.
No, I appreciate that, man. No, it's very kind. Yeah, it has been a long time, and believe me, I was worried too for a while. There's a lot of stuff we kind of went on, but no, I'm happy to be here. Happy to know that the record's done. It's getting released, and there'll be plenty more records to come.
Yeah, absolutely. And right now, you guys are out in Germany on a festival weekend, basically. What's it like being back on these big stages and being able to perform the new music, especially the new single?
Man, it's incredible. It's incredible, man. It's a feeling that because not playing shows for so long, didn't realize how much I kind of depended on how much I love music and how much I enjoy it. Because when you spend so much time away from it, it's easy to forget how grateful you are and how much you appreciate what you have. So being back in, it's amazing, man. I love it. I'm in my element. I absolutely love it. Playing the songs that we've written, songs that have just been released, songs that haven't been released, and the reception from people has been nothing short of insane. I'm so surprised how much people love these songs, and it was not surprised in the sense that we've worked very hard on them, but it's always very humbling, and we feel very grateful that people are willing to listen to us and watch us play.
And it must feel amazing, going from the last 2 years that we went through, where you guys were kind of to yourselves. Whatever was being worked on, it was in your own time and space. And now we're able to finally hear it and actually experience it live. So I'm sure that just upped the feeling of every single song, every single moment you had during this process.
For sure. No, definitely, man. Definitely. It has been plenty of ups and downs, but it's, if it was easy, everyone would do it,
Right.
So.
Right. So let's start off and talk about the new single, Me Because of You, because it reminds me of when I first heard the band for the very first time. And I instantly fell in love with the dynamics, with the vocals, with the music. I got the same exact feeling with this song. And I love the fact that this is the first time that you guys self-produced it. So talk to me about that process and kind of deciding to do it yourselves this time around.
Yeah, man. Big reason why we decided to do it ourselves is because we were in a position where we couldn't travel anywhere as well, and which also limited everything that we wanted to do. But I think we were also in a mindset where we really just wanted to take more ownership, and we really wanted to take the sound of this band and the identity of this band and have more control of it. And that's growing and growing as time keeps going on. We're all writing songs, we're all growing and progressing in our own way, and it's going to happen with the third record as well. And I think we really just wanted to feel ourselves in every aspect of it. And we're still working through that now. But with the Me Because of You, it was produced by Sam and Steve, and they did an incredible job producing it. Steve wrote the song in LA, I'm pretty sure. That's where it all sort of started, and he kind of fleshed it all out. And Sam really, really helped with the sound and the production and really brought that song to an interesting light, because it's a type of song we haven't really tried to do before. It's got it's very poppy, but there's still a sort of alt twinge to it. And in the sense of the vocal aspect, it was very different for me personally, because it's just there's lots of changes, especially in that chorus. It's a very long chorus. So there's lots of different jumps and hoops that you kind of go through to make sure that it still sounds relaxed and real and to the sentiment of the song, but not forced, or, it's got to still have its vibe. But yeah, that song's been super interesting, and it's great to see the reception we've got, especially from other ones too. The Hills has been an incredible response. And live, that song that song's really sticking around. Every time we play that live, it's insanity. And same with Me Because of You as well. So it's great.
Yeah, I was watching when you guys released the video for Me Because of You. Obviously, like you mentioned, your vocal ranges are completely up and down throughout this whole song. The falsetto is insane. But on top of that, they have you, because of the sound that this song has, it kind of has you dancing as well. So how are you able to be able to get those moves in while still being able to maintain and control those vocals that you have to do throughout the song?
Man, it's just practice, man. Like I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. There's no secret sauce. There's no hidden gem or right star sign or anything like that. It's just a case of liking the song and just singing through it, you know. Like, and I think my dance moves are terrible. I don't have good dance. I'm built like a praying mantis, man. Like I can barely dance, but but I try. But no, I think it's just like, especially on stage, man, like there's an energy that comes over me that's very different to like not necessarily different to how I'm in person, but I'm just very, very intense when it comes to stage, because I just love performing, love music.
Did you say like this was one of the first songs that was written for this album?
No, actually, this was written a bit later in the process. One of the first songs that was written was probably Ease My Mind. And then after that, and Flowers as well, which is unreleased at the moment, but that's on the album. But we've been playing that live on tour. But those two were the first two that we wrote. And then after that was like The Hills was probably the next one. And yeah.
Yeah, when listening to Flowers, it gave me, it felt like you guys were in LA. Like that's exactly what I felt when I was listening to that song. I don't know if like it had anything to do with the city in general, but I don't know. It just gave me that vibe.
It's so funny you say that, because it was written in Perth. It was us four in a very small apartment on Sam's property that Lyndon was living in, and we would just ourselves down there for a long time and wrote a lot of songs. But it's great that it has that LA feel. But it's funny because it was written in a tiny room back home.
That is hilarious. Now, as far as this album, Talk, which is out July 8th, I love that you guys have multiple producers on here, Eric Ron being one of them, and Zach Cervini as well. Like, what was that process like and that collaboration like when you guys got to work with these producers?
It was great, man, because a lot of them, especially because us taking taking more ownership of the production and the sounds and the lyrics and things that we wanted to say and how we wanted to start directing this band moving forward. They all just really helped us shape the vision. You know, Zach Cervini with songs like Ease My Mind and Flowers really helped bring life to those songs. I love Zach. He's just always a great dude to work with. Eric Ron with songs like Jealous Love, he was great to work with as well. But Matt Pauling is another producer that we worked with on this record, and he did, I think, 6 songs, which is a big chunk of the record. And I think he really helped shape the sound of what we wanted with this record. Like, he's very good, very, very talented, lovely guy. And we've also worked with him before many times. Very, very great friend. And he works a lot with organic sounds and things that we wanted. Like, we wanted it to still feel modern and still feel current. But I think we really wanted it to still have those organic sounds and those organic elements and still feel like a band with, like, you know, the synth aspects and stuff like that. So the process itself was very different. I flew to LA and finished out the record with Steven over there with Matt Pauling. But before that, it was a lot of working digitally, just kind of trying to Zoom call and WhatsApp message in different time zones. It was very difficult, very sporadic, but we got through it and we did it. Yeah, it was an interesting process, to say the least.
It felt like you guys experimented with this record just because there's so many different tones. Sonically, it sounds, every track is very different. It's still cohesive, but it's just every track you could tell that you're kind of stepping out of your comfort zone one step even further. So what was the idea for doing that? Was this something that like the band as a whole like had in mind to do as you guys were coming into the studio, or was this because you guys were working with 3 different producers that it allowed you to do that?
I think it was a culmination of a bunch of things. It was the culmination of producers, the culmination of what we wanted to do, but also the amount of time this record took. It was about 2 years. So over that time, a lot of things happened. You know, a lot of things changed, perspectives changed, music changed. Love for music changed, relationships within that, personal growth, all those things really kind of influenced the record. And I think that you can see that a lot too, like everyone kind of coming into their own as a writer and also what they want to bring to this band. And personally, and there was a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes of like trying to figure out everything within the dynamic of this band. So this album really was like a big step forward, because there was just a lot of things that needed to iron out. And that's why it took so long, because it really was that process of elimination of like trying to get there. And for a while, we didn't know how we were going to get there or how long it was going to take. But eventually we did get there, and we learned a lot. And it was definitely a learning experience for sure.
The last time that we got to hang out, Lyndon was technically the new member. Yes. And he was going through the trial of whether or not we're going to keep him. Obviously, you guys kept him. So since from then to now, like, how do you feel like he's evolved as not just as a drummer, but also as a member of the Faim?
It's the Faim. This is the Faim. There's no if, ands, buts, or maybes. I wouldn't change it for the world. For me, since the four of us all being together in this band, that's when the Faim started. Yeah. Everything before that is a part of the journey of this band and a part of what's happened in the history. But for me personally, about how I feel in this band and how I feel as the singer and as a big hand of the writing and all these sorts of aspects, I feel like the band started when everyone was there, like Lyndon, Sam, Steve, and I. That is the Faim. Like, and I don't imagine it ever changing, and I don't think it would, because if it did, I don't think any of us would want to be part of it, because this is like as real as it gets. And I think as we all work together in a way that's incredibly strong, incredibly challenging at times, because we're all very, very, very different people. But at the same time, I think it brings its own myriad of incredible. Thank you, Grant and Stephen. Sorry, they're just dropping in on the interview out of nowhere. But as different as people as we are, it really does bring so much to the party, especially when it comes to writing or even the social media, everything. Everyone has different perspectives. But I think when Lyndon joined and we all kind of fell into place, that's when the Faim, I think, truly started. And I think we still have a lot to do. Like, this album is a blip on the radar of what we are going to do.
As far as Sam and Stephen, how do you feel like they've kind of evolved with their instruments? And the fact that now they produced this track. So like, how did that kind of like step up their game during this process?
It was incredible, man. I think everyone's kind of come into their own in a really strong way. Sam has just always been a seeker of sounds. He's just the guy that will spend that extra time looking for something specific. Half the time, I don't know what the hell he is hearing, but he will find it, and he's almost like a little inventor. He would just sit there and just sift through sounds and sift through mixes, and he's just incredibly, incredibly talented with that sort of stuff. And I have the utmost respect for him and what he does, because I'm the exact opposite. I'm just like, write a bunch of stuff, write a bunch of lyrics, bunch of melodies, and then work it out. I don't sift through sounds, but that's why we all work so well together. But and Steve as well. Steve's come into his own as well as a really talented songwriter and a really great producer as well. And especially him having an understanding of musical theory and all these sorts of things, it really leans to his expertise of what he brings to the band and what he brings to himself as a writer outside of the band. So everyone's incredibly talented, but everyone's growing and everyone works hard, which is the main thing, really. But I've seen so much growth in the last 2 years with everyone, including myself.
Now, with these 11 tracks that you guys wrote for this album, what would you say was like the biggest challenge that you guys faced to like either write, record, or finalize?
It's funny because there was a lot of big challenges. Like, I'd say one of the biggest ones was overcoming, I guess, sort of personal approaches to music, overcoming certain mindsets and certain ways we wanted to deal with it, especially with like there's other things going on. For me personally, this album cycle was incredibly challenging. For a long time, my relationship with music was, I couldn't even listen to music for about 4 months. I just didn't have it there. I couldn't really get into it. I was losing my feeling towards it, especially with a lot of other stuff going on, which will be spoken about at some point in the future. But it was very challenging because it was a difficult time for everyone. And I think with the world of uncertainty and the world of things being taken away, whether it's like tours being cancelled or, you know, shows being cancelled, and then seeing what's going on in the world as well. And then also you've got your own life catching up with you as well. And you can't keep dancing around this world of trying to, because, you know, life is life. You've got to figure shit out eventually. But I think that was the biggest challenge, just trying to figure it all out amongst everything that's going on, because everyone's going through the same things. It's 2 years of no one could have predicted, in 2 years of, you know, uncertainty that everyone was kind of dealing with. But, you know, that's why we're a band, because we don't just work as one person. We operate off each other, and we all help each other, and we all grow as a band. If one person is growing more than the other, it all kind of comes full circle with that sort of stuff. So yeah, it was kind of a long-winded answer, but, you know, with 2 years of this record, there was many challenges.
The fact that you were losing your love for music, like, what really brought you back in? Was it one of these songs that you guys wrote for the album?
It's funny. I don't exactly know. I think it was part of the songs. I think it was also just figuring out some kind of personal walls within myself of like understanding how I want to write, whether it's within the band or out of the band, of what I want to hear and what I want to feel, and just being okay with it. Because, you know, this band has had a very strange history of things happening very quickly and then things taking very long. And sometimes it's very easy to get caught up in other people's perspectives and other people's opinions on how things should go, and just finding that own internal compass of being comfortable with whatever I feel or whatever I want to write or whatever it is, whether it's in this band or outside of the band. And I think it's just about finding that internal comfortability for me, and then also working through my own sort of issues at the time as well.
A lot happened for everyone during these last 2 years. And you're right, like having those moments of alone time and like separation definitely like opens the door for things that we don't want to open the door for. So
100%.
Yeah. So I'm glad that, you know, you came back to the music. I'm glad it's not something that it made you walk away from. But I'm also glad that there is new music, because us as fans, like, we love the Faim, and we definitely need more of the Faim. So as selfish as that sounds.
No, it's not selfish. I appreciate that. Very kind of you. Very kind of you.
So I'm excited for this record to drop July 8th. It's called Talk. And I'm super excited to see you guys live again once you guys come back to LA. So Josh, thank you again.
It's anytime, man. You're always welcome. Always welcome. Anytime you'd like to come, just let us know. Hopefully we'll be back in the US soon. We miss the States.
Yeah, we miss you too. For a second, I thought you guys moved out here too. So I was like getting excited. I was like, all right, maybe they'll do more showcases like left and right.
Yeah, I'm very close. I'm very close to moving. It's a tie between LA and Europe at the moment, but we'll see.
Oh man. All right. Well, let's hope it's LA.
Yeah, exactly, man. No, exactly.
Well, Josh, thank you again for reuniting with me. Best of luck with the rest of the tour. I know you guys have a lot of dates going on right now. So I appreciate you taking the time to do this today.
Anytime. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you listening. I appreciate you being a fan of the band and wanting to hear about what's going on. It means a lot, and I appreciate it. So thank you for taking the time.